You're watching Your Story. The ITU Telecom World Conference looks at new technologies that can roll out internet to rural Africa. The conference is currently taking place at the iNkosi Albert Luthuli Convention Centre in Durban. Our reporter Siphumelele Zondi has been attending the conference.
The future of work is changing a lot of things, and that's all part of the fourth industrial revolution. It's changing the way we are looking for employment. It's changing the way we do our work. Scelo Makhathini, who is an investment banker, is taking advantage of this through his company called LinkdPro. Hello, and thank you very much for joining us, Scelo.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
What made you decide that you're going to quit being an investment banker to found LinkdPro?
Well, look, as you've correctly put it, the world of work is changing, and most of the changes are actually brought about by people who are leaving permanent employment to take advantage of project opportunities as freelance professionals. Now, the market is largely fragmented, and companies who are looking to hire people who have basically in-demand skills are struggling to find these people. So we've created a platform where we essentially connect the companies to the people who are really looking for project opportunities.
And you're in the first 2 years of your business?
Sure, that's correct.
All right. And in the first 2 years, would you say that you found a formula that actually does work to bring potential employers and these freelancers together?
Yes, I think, look, in the first 2 years that we've been in business, we've had good traction. We now have a global network of professionals. Our professionals are in the UK, US, South America, across 46 African countries. So we've had some good traction. And if you look at the companies as well that have come on board, you know, we now service at least 7% of the companies that are listed on the South African Stock Exchange, which is the JSE.
Oh, which industries are they in?
It's really across industries, but the majority of our clients are actually coming from the financial services industries, FMCG, mining, as well as obviously your insurance being part of the financial services industries.
What is it about the fourth industrial revolution that's changing the way things work, that's changing the way we look for employment and the way we choose to work?
Look, I think most people are actually pursuing flexibility. You know, gone are the days where people will actually go and work for a 9-to-5 job.
No one wants to be in a brick and mortar office anymore.
Directly, exactly. You know, and most people are actually looking for those opportunities where, for instance, they are pursuing flexibility, but they also want to work on their own terms. You know, so what you're seeing is that these people who possess these highly in-demand skills, they're actually leaving work and pursuing these project-based opportunities as freelancers. But the market, like I said, it is very, very fragmented, and something has to really bring them together, and that's LinkdPro.
So, I'm a qualified professional. I don't run my day job anymore. What do I do when I get on your platform?
All right, it's very, very simple. The sign-up process takes less than 10 minutes. So essentially, if you're a professional who has left work, you basically come onto the platform and you sign up as a freelancer, which means that you have to set out your work experience, your key areas of let's say of expertise, and then also what you'll need to do is that you'll need to give us access to your references. We do reference checks, but there's a very strong vetting process as well. So we look for people who are actually qualified. You know, we also look for people who have a proven track record of having done projects before as freelance professionals, and then afterwards, within 48 hours, your application will be approved.
Why did LinkdPro see the need to be at ITU Telecom World?
All right, look, there are a lot of things that we use on our platform. So the backend infrastructure actually supports, you know, the use of telecommunications. There are so many things that we're doing on the backend which really involve us using telecommunication facilities.
You're here as part of a Standard Bank competition. What was this competition about?
So Standard Bank came on board. They were looking for entrepreneurs who are very, very disruptive in their own industries, but who also have an involvement in terms of the usage of telecommunications. So we were obviously selected as one of the SMEs to come and actually showcase our capabilities here at this conference, and we welcome the opportunity.
You've spoken about growth and the number of countries that you are in Africa. But have you managed to service those companies outside South Africa and in the rest of the world as well?
Yes. So if you look at our client base, we've got clients in Saudi Arabia, we've got clients in Nigeria, we've got clients in Brazil. We've actually done successful projects in Nigeria, and we've also got clients in Mozambique. So our client base is growing, and our client base is actually global, and so is our professional network as well.
That sounds like a massive growth in a short space of time. A potential investor might say, why is this guy part of this competition? Or why is he at ITU World and as part of the Standard Bank? Why should I be putting money into that business?
Look, I think it's where the world is going. If you look at the gig economy, for instance, guys who have been pioneers in the gig economy, such as Uber, such as Airbnb, So what we're doing is to actually fundamentally change the way companies actually access, knowledge workers in this new sharing economy. So it's where the world is going. There's a lot of appetite. If you look at South Africa, for instance, we're first to launch, so we've got significant first mover advantage. If you look at the US, the trend is actually much more pronounced, where about 30% of the people in the US are actually freelancers. By 2020, it's actually projected that those people will be about 50% of the workforce. So it's something that's really, really, really growing and growing exponentially.
Tell us about the beginning stages of your platform. Yes. After you quit your work, or maybe before you quit your work, what were those stages like? Was it easy to link up with the skills that you needed in Africa, especially digital skills that you wanted?
Yeah, look, there's actually about a 2 million. I think there's about 2 million shortage of data scientists in the world. So having access to highly in-demand skill is still a little bit tough. But what our platform is really enable us to do is to tap into areas where there is excess supply, such as Ukraine, for instance. If you need data scientists here sitting in South Africa, you can access data science skills sitting in Ukraine, Spain, and so forth. So when we started, really, it was about getting the highly in-demand skill onto our platform. But that in itself was not very difficult, because what you'll find is that these people are actively looking for project opportunities, but they cannot market themselves. They haven't built enough visibility. So it only makes sense for them to actually join a platform such as ours.
All right, Scelo Makhathini, thank you very much for joining us.
Sure, thank you so much for having me.
Scelo Makhathini, there is the founder for the on-demand worker platform called LinkdPro. And that's all we have for you right now from ITU Telecom World. It's back to you in studio.